Now, here's a nifty one. I did mention, and I don't know whether you've watched that video already, but I did a video with a couple of Whitley Strieber books. I did mention I was going to dig out some of the other UFO books that I do in fact have. Please excuse the weird light on this. That is a ring light. It is not some sort of flying saucer. So what we have here is Unearthly Disclosure by Timothy Good. Now, Timothy Good is one of my favorite people involved in the UFO exploration. I couldn't think of the word then, because he gets into the whole government cover-up and conspiracies, and not crazy crackpot ones, but sort of ones you can believe, where they're like, hey, there's a lab over there that does weird things, that sort of stuff. So I've always been fascinated by the writings and stories of Timothy Good. The first book I read of his, I think, was Alien Liaison back in the 90s, and then since then he's done, Beyond Top Secret, I think, was the first one. And then I got very excited when this one was coming out, Unearthly Disclosure, back in the early 2000s. Now, I didn't manage to pick one of these signed ones up, but I did actually locate Timothy's address. And so this was back in the day before email. I wrote him a letter. Yes, a pen, piece of paper, envelope, and stamp will work you wonders sometimes. And so I wrote off to Timothy. And he was off doing some sort of offer where if you could buy his book mail through the post, basically. And so I put in I think it was a postal order. I think, are they even still a thing now? And so I sent off some money. I think it was like £25 or something like that, to get this wonderful book. This book comes out or came out in the year 2000. Now, for those eagle-eyed little mofos, you've probably just seen me flip past the signature, but I will get back to that in a minute. So Timothy Good goes into more detail on this one. We get more government involvement, police involvement, NATO involvement about the whole UFO conspiracy, UFO phenomenon, UFO whatever you want to call it. That's what Timothy Good looks like. There we go. Okay, looks like Christopher Nolan, doesn't he? This was included in the book, which I hadn't noticed until now. It just sort of fell out this morning. So that was quite good. And it goes through the whole his bibliography and stuff there. But yes, there's Timothy Good. So I got that. I also got this. Now, remember I said I wrote him a letter. He put this inside, which is very nice. There's still his address there. I don't know whether he's living there or not, because this was 1998 that he... which that's quite confusing, because the book said it was published in 2000. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it says copyright Timothy Good 2000 for this one. But yeah, that is signed 1998. Now, I did actually get this from Timothy Good, so it's no weirdness. And it's got my name on it. With best wishes for your research. Sincerely, Timothy Good. So the date's a little bit unusual, but the date gets even more unusual. Book comes out in 2000. I have this piece of paper which says 1998, and then we have a signature from Mr. Good. Again, he's written some words in there. For Stuart, with all my best wishes and thanks for your kind words of support. Now, that was 2001. So this would make more sense, I think. I'm not quite sure where the 98 comes from. I'm a little bit confused, because I did only write to Timothy once. So I'm a little bit confused about that one. Maybe there's time travel involved. But this is a fantastic book. It is little sketches, and it is well written. I mean, this isn't the sort of book I think you would have next to your bed and you would read some before you have a good night's sleep. This is a proper heavy book talking about research and ground traces and material witnesses and all that sort of stuff. But it really is fascinating. I think there's some pictures. There is. We do have some photos in here. I do love photographs in books. So we've got a whole, a few photos for you to sort of have a look at. But if you're not familiar I think these pictures of chupacabras. I don't know. I have no idea what they are. I believe so. um, what, whatever you think of the UFO phenomenon, I would give Timothy Good's research a bit of a look. You may believe, you may not, but it's written by someone who really sounds convincing, and they've looked into what they've looked into. So I would recommend that. Good book. This is one I have actually read, and I can recommend it because I am a big fan of Tim's. And I don't know if he's written anything since. I'm gonna have a look later on today and see what else he's been up to.